Oh, it's saying my machine doesn't have space. Oh, it's left with like 300 and something MB. 500 words, so okay. I'll have to sort it immediately after this lesson. I'm in trouble. Machine no longer has space. Anyway, I think it's because of. Okay, it's fine. Let's resume. Examine the following: input A, input B, input C, input whatever, input whatever, input whatever it. So you're inputting these letters. Then T is equal to that divided by what? By 12. Huh? Describe what happens. So what do you think happens to this algorithm? Average equals to T divided by 12. So what happens to the algorithm? What happens there? Kuda? What happens? A, B, C, D.
I think the pseudocode takes the inputs and then finds an average.
You're saying it allows you to input and calculate the average. What will be the average? What will be the average, the output? What will be the average?
T over 12.
3 over 4. How many
I said
liters?
T.
No, no,
T
no,
over
no, no,
12.
no, 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 not T over 12. It's dividing here. T is this, you're adding all this here. A, B, C, D, whatever, you're adding all that. Then when you add, yeah, T is total. I thought you saw that. It's total here. When you add, then you're dividing by 12. So what will be the average? So it's allowing you to input, yes, 12 values. Then it's also allowing, then is number one. The purpose is to allow you to input 12 values. Number two, to find the total. And number three, to find what? The average. So using the average one day. Why is everyone quiet here? 3 marks. Let me show you what's expected of you to answer that question. That's all. You see what they're saying here, like what I told you. 3 things. Inputs a series of values, finds the total, and prints what? Prints average. Can you see that? As easy as that. Because it's allowing you to input the values there, it's doing the total and printing the average. The average. That's the purpose. Now, describe how this pseudocode could rather be altered to allow any number of values to be inputted, to allow any numbers. So how do you alter that? Any numbers. Huh? How do you change it? You want it to allow numbers, huh? Maybe a certain number. Maybe you want to allow 20 numbers, you want to allow 30 numbers. So what do you do? From what you have been learning, what do you do? Because according to that program here, it can only allow you to enter 12 numbers. Those numbers we're saying input, whatever, clear. Those letters are just representing now any numbers, any text that you're going to. Now, my question is, how are you going to change it? What do we use? What loop and what are we going to use? We have been doing that. We even did a program that allows you to enter, was that 20 numbers or so, the other time. You use a loop, whether it's a repeat loop, whether it's a for loop, it doesn't matter. So you have to use count, because count is going to count how many numbers you want, clear? That making sense? Because I can simply do this. I can simply say count is equal to 0. I've set my count to 0. Then I will say, you see, count to 0. Then I will say repeat. Then I'll say what? Input num, if I want. Input num. Then the moment I do that, my count has to be incremented by what? By 1. Huh? We've done that before. Count plus 1. Huh? We are incrementing each time we enter a number. Then, we also do a total here. Total is equal to 0. You now get it. So now when I add a number, that number is added to what? To total. Huh? So then I'll say total is equal to total plus num. Making sense? Then when I do this, I can now say repeat until a certain, yeah? So until, maybe if I want, I can say until count is equal to limit. But my limit now varies. Huh? I can put a limit, this limit here is tending, can be 100, it can be any. Huh? So we repeat until we have reached that limit. Making sense? That making sense? Until a limit is reached. Then now I'll simply say average. What will be average? It's total divided by what? By my limit. Huh? That's not difficult. Is that difficult? Remember, they are not worried about the actual programming. Huh? They're worried about pseudocode, which makes sense. Describe how you do all of this to allow you any number of values. Huh? So my limit is my any number of values. Huh? Because I'm saying count, total is equal to 0, count is equal to 0. Then I'm saying repeat, input a number. When I input a number, I increment my count by what? By 1. Is that making sense? So let me show you here. Let's say our limit here was 10. I want to show you how it works. Now, I have total here. Let me use this as T. I have count here as C. I have num here, like this. Then num. Okay, then limit. Okay, I want to put the word limit here. So look at how I test my program. What is total here, everyone? 0. Let's do that together. See if it's functioning what I said here. 0. Input a number. Can anyone give me any number? Give me any number. Any number. 5. Now what's next? What happens immediately when you do that? Count is equal to count plus 1. So it's now 1 here. Okay. Then total is equal to total plus num. Total was 0. 0 plus 5. 5. Then continue until limit. We said limit here. We are going to use what? 10. So it's not yet reached. So we go back to this repeat here. Input another number. Give me another number. Let's say 20. Then you see count is equal to count plus 1. Count is now 2. That's how it's doing that. Then total is equal to total plus num. So total is 5 plus num 25. Then it now checks is repeat until count. We are not yet count is still 2. It's not yet 10. So it continues. It will ask you to enter another number. Let's say 30. So it continues until you have got 10 numbers. You see how easy that is? It's not difficult. You're just combining what you have learned. Is it clear? Clear on the algorithms, huh? Because they can ask you to write any algorithm here. So this is just numbers, huh? Algorithms. If we wanted to change this algorithm here before we look at, so that we have even, it prints even numbers. Let's see. It prints even numbers and finds total. It prints even numbers between 0 to 50. What do we change here? 0 to 50. Well, we have done that program before, but now I'm trying of the pseudocode here. What changes do we make? Even numbers. Count, I think it's fine. Count and what? Count and total are okay because we can start at 0. Then we no longer need an inputting of number, because what we want is for it to just generate these numbers. Huh? Clear? Is that making sense? Or not making sense? We want to print numbers between 0 to 50. So, changing, how do you change this? To print numbers before. What do you know about even numbers? If I say 0 plus 2 is 2, then if I continue adding 2, huh, they are even numbers. Is that true? It's true, huh? Making sense? So I can set total to be equal to 0, because I want to print the total of the even numbers. When I add, I can even use count if I want. Like this. Or, alternatively, I can even skip count here. Why? Because I don't really need to count. I can simply say even. I'll set it to 0, like this. Then I'll do a repeat. You can do it in a different way, as long as it's correct. Then I can say repeat. Then I say even is equal to even plus 2. So that my first even number is 0 plus 2, which is 2, like this. Clear? Then I say, because I wanted to print even numbers, then I say print even, like this. That making sense? Then then after printing even, I add to total. So total is equal to total, which is 0, is equal to total plus even. Follow me what I'm doing here. Just, it has to make sense step by step. Total is equal to 0, even is equal to 0, repeat, even is equal to even plus, so it's even plus, not even plus 2. So that is 0 plus 2 is 2, so that's the first even number. So when I say print, it prints 2 here. Then it goes total is equal to total, which is 0 plus 2, which is 2. So it is print, each time is adding an even number, it's actually printing the number. Then I'm done with the total there. Then I say repeat, so it's until, you see, until even. I stop when even is equal to what? To 50. Clear? Making sense?
Yes, sir.
Then I can print total. As easy as that. Are we together?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Now let's look at this, which is to do with arrays. That's the last question. Complete the trace table. Input a value. So let's do that together. Or index is set to 0. Also, it needs 7 numbers for counter. 7 numbers. So index is set to 0. Let's set it to 0 then. Then input a value. What's the value? What's the first value here? 50 what? 58. Do we all agree? Input a value. Is value greater than 50? Is it greater than 50? Yes, huh? Then what? Pass mark index. So what is the index here? Is 0, is that correct? Like this, huh? So this is a loop, huh? It's doing your count is equal to count plus 1, by the way. Remember? That's another way we're doing a for loop, huh? Now, so we are saying our index, in index 0, we place the value. What is the value? 50 what? 58, huh? There. Pass, this is the pass mark. Index, it's in memory location. We are placing a pass, huh? Was the mark is passed is greater than what? Than 50. Then index is equal to index plus what? Plus 1. So we go to what index? To 1 plus 0, 1. Huh? Clear? For count 0 to 1, so I think count should increase to 2 there if I'm correct. Input value. So what's the value? 40. Okay. Now what will happen here? Is 40 above 50? No. Huh? So it skips that condition there. Next count, then number passed. So we passed that number. Is that true? So number passed. It's not allowing us to enter numbers below. Then the next one is what number is that? Let's see. So we don't do an index there, if I'm correct. Yes. So what's the next number then? Okay, next count. Which means next count is 3. And then 67. I hope I'm following the correct things here. Then 67 is above what? Is above 50. Huh? So the index is incremented to what? If we increment the index, it's 2. Huh? 1 plus 1. What? Wait a moment. Did you do the correct thing here? Why did we put, well, okay. The 1 here is wrong, huh? Wait. We said index here is 0. Because this indexing here is only for when what? Is only when marks are above 50. Is that correct? If mark is then pass whatever is equal to 1, then pass, okay, I get it. What you're supposed to do. Then pass mark index, huh? Oh, okay, that's correct. So pass mark index here, follow me. This mark is 67 is greater than what? Is greater than 50. Then pass mark was this one here. Okay, before I read this. Pass mark is 1, huh? So it's 1 there. So in memory location 1 here, that's where we're going to enter what? What's the value? 60 what? 67. But it's storing values that are above 50. Clear? And passing and skipping numbers that are less than what? Less than 50. Then after that, that's where now we increment the index to 2 there. Okay. Then next count for numbers 85 like this. That making sense? Then 85 is definitely above what? 85 is definitely above